I don't know how Yash became Ravana, I know him very well. Villain means he is a blunt nose, Yash is a handsome man, very capable man. But to tell you what kind of problem he has within himself.
Can we also shed some light in your mind based on someone like Ravana? Because in many ways, when I started on the journey of Ramayana, my first question to the writers, to the people was, why did Rama have to come? And why did he have to come in this form? And then you sort of learn a lot about Ravana and his power and his what he had done in the world, and why ultimately Rama or Vishnu's avatar as Rama had to come in the particular form to take on Ravana, who was in his strongest place, and that also had been created through boon that Ravana had got from Brahma and from and the weapon that he had manifested with Shiva. So he was obviously very well endowed on his own, and that must have some significance for Ravana to be who he is, to have gotten that blessing in the first place until things went off. But I think that sort of is another piece that when we were going through the establishment of this whole universe, it felt like a very important part, and even in terms of casting. In fact, I was on the lookout for who would be the ideal Ravana.
I don't know how Yash became Ravana, I know him very well.
No, because we were almost looking like at a superstar level person to come in and play that role. Because
always a villain means he is a blunt nose,
That's a very…
Yash is a handsome man.
Very, very handsome and very talented star in the country, and incredibly loved. So the whole idea was, how do we try it? Because unless we have the…
Somehow, have you noticed villains always have blunt nose, not sharp nose?
That's a new learning for me. I shall go and look at that. So the idea was that there had to be a lot of shades of Ravan in terms of, why he was who he was. And that's why when you talk about him being a devotional…
Ravana, according to the description, see, let's understand this. We know all these characters only from the story. None of us have seen them, it's only from the story. From the story, he is a great scholar, a very accomplished king in various ways. He built one of the most beautiful cities of the time. Lanka was that kind of city. And a very just administrator, very capable man and a great devotee, many things. But he's called Ravana because the one who cried loudly or roared loudly, because his hands got… I just came back from Kailash, I've been telling them this Ravana stories, didn't speak about Rama, only Ravana, because he is the one who traveled there. Rama stayed in the Indian part of Himalayas. So he's obviously a great traveler, a strong man, many things. And… but to tell you what kind of problem he has within himself. He goes and, in many ways he worships Shiva and pleases him in many ways. Then Shiva asks, what do you want? Ask whatever you want. You know what he asks? I want your wife. This is the kind of man he is. He's got everything. He's got a great kingdom, he's built a great city, he's a scholar, he's a devotee, but he's got this problem. When Shiva asks, what do you want? If you are a normal man, you would ask for whatever you need in your life. He says, I want your wife. Because Shiva has already promised, he can't go back. He said, okay, take her. Then he starts walking. Where is she? She is near Manasarovar. So he starts walking in that direction. Then Parvati comes to know that he's coming to take her forcefully, because Shiva said, okay. Because he can't go back on his word, he said, ask whatever you want, just misuse of that. See, when I say, please, what do you want? Ask whatever you want. You say, I want your head. What to do? I'm saying this kind. But if this is civilization, once you give your word, you can't go back. So he says, I want your wife. He says, okay, take her. Then as he's walking towards Manasarovar, the Ganas, Shivas, the people, they mislead him towards Rakshastal, what is today known as Rakshastal. So Parvati sees that he's coming and if he doesn't find her there, he will come back here. So she picks up a frog and turns that into a very beautiful woman. So frog is called Manduka and she becomes Mandodari. And he takes her thinking she is Parvati. Mandodari is a very beautiful and a very, very wise woman. Frogs are wise, you know.
I didn't know that.
You didn't know that because you come from the West where if you kiss a frog, it'll become a prince. Here it became a princess. This is an older story than the prince story,
Yeah,
all right? So he went there, thought this is the Parvati and took her home and married her. So Mandodari became his wife, very beautiful and very wise, but he could not make use of her wisdom. Even when he brought Sita, she was the one who told him, just go and hand her over. Any woman in the kingdom is available for you. Why are you doing this? This will be your nemesis. In many ways she tried to tell him because she foresaw what's coming. But he couldn't because this is the problem of various good qualities. You have strength, you have wisdom, you have intelligence, you have many, various faculties which are extraordinary. Now, you think you are better than anybody in the universe. Now, this is a bad thing. This is all Ravana's problem is. He thinks he is the Superman of the day. But in the end, it proves that he is not the Superman. Superman is a gentle, quiet man, he doesn't have this kind of power, but he has penetration because he's quite balanced. Above all balance, this is continuously I'm telling everybody, you may have intelligence, you may have talent, you may have various qualities, but if there is no balance, your intelligence will work against you. This is a Ravana's life. His own intelligence, his own talent, his own capabilities worked against him because no balance. Rama is balance absolute. He may not be as strong as Ravana, that's how Ramayana depicts him, that he's not as strong as Ravana. In many ways, he's not as skilled as Ravana, but he is balanced.